Okay, we're going to cover within this short presentation what is SEO, why SEO is important, how Google works, what makes a website rank, a winning SEO strategy, and how we work. So let's jump straight into it. First off, what is SEO? Well, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. A search engine's job is to look at, crawl, review, evaluate, and understand every single web page on the internet. Now that's quite a job. There's many websites and millions going live all the time, so that's quite a job Google needs to do. Now the reason it has to understand every single page is so that Google can choose which pages to put at the very top of Google when somebody makes a search, and Google needs to make sure that every single time that someone makes a search, it's delivering the very best and most relevant pages at the very top of Google, and by doing that it can keep its reputation and keep its huge market share within the search space. Okay, so there is many websites. It's not just about Google. We have Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, and even YouTube's considered a search engine. But 90% of that traffic does go through Google. So Google is our focus, but a lot of the work that we do within search engine optimization will benefit all the search engines, okay, but we do focus on Google, of course, because it gets that huge slice of the pie. Now Google actually is very good at doing its job, and that's why it has such a large market share. Okay, so the purpose of SEO is to optimize your website to make sure it shows up as high on Google as possible for the keywords and the search terms that matter to your business. Now, there's lots of ranking factors. There has to be easily 250 plus ranking factors. And when you consider that those ranking factors are affected by every single page on your website, then the task of SEO can be quite large. You can see within the list here that we've listed just the top few ranking factors. So a typical page on Google will look like this. The first thing is somebody makes a search, of course, and then it's followed by different parts within the Google page. So the very first, you see the advertising right at the top, and then after that it's followed by a knowledge graph which gives extra information about the subject or the website in particular. But then sometimes, depending on the type of search, such as this one, this is a local search, so you can see that we have a map pack area. After that, then generally we'll see a people also ask section. This gives similar search queries as the one that you've just made. And then finally we get to the organic listings, where there's generally 10 listings there. Now I just want to show you how important it is to get as high up on Google's listings as possible. Now the top 3 positions within Google are generally getting around 60% of all of the traffic for that particular search term, okay? And as you go down Google, you get less as you go down the page within the listings, you get less and less share of the traffic. So the number 1 position is getting roughly 35%, and then we go down to around 17, and then 11 or 12%, and it goes further and further down. Think about the last time that you actually went onto the second page of Google whilst you're performing a search. It's few and far between. That's because Google does a really good job, and now there's a lot of resources out there to help us as searchers. So why is SEO so important? Well, let's talk about search and how it works and why it's such a good marketing channel. The reason it works so well for businesses is that people who are searching on Google, they have a pain, they've decided to take action on that pain by making a search, so that by the time that they've gone onto Google, they've made that search, they've seen the listings, they've chosen to click on your listing and go to your web page, review your content, and then make contact with you or make a sale, they are very far down that sales process. So we consider them to be super hot prospects. Now, the other thing to consider is that the traffic that's coming from Google, you're not paying for. You're not paying every time somebody makes a click. Compare that to the traffic that's gained through Google Ads or other pay-per-click advertising channels. Now, there is advertising on Google, and there is the organic, the non-paid traffic that comes through Google. But the organic traffic gains roughly 80% of all of the traffic and all of the clicks that go through Google. And that's why SEO is considered to be one of the best options if you want to dominate within your industry. So with not having to pay for every click and getting a lot of traffic, SEO or organic traffic to websites is considered to provide some of the lowest cost per lead or cost per sales available within marketing. So SEO and being found on Google really does provide businesses with an opportunity to dominate within their industry. And SEO rankings and positions and traffic often last for years. So it really does provide businesses with quite a huge opportunity. Now, like I say, it is a huge opportunity, but you need to remember that SEO doesn't happen overnight. It's without a doubt a marathon and not a sprint, but it's well worth all the hard work and the effort and investment to get you found on Google. Okay, so how does Google work? Well, you need to remember that Google effectively is just a content delivery machine. We need to make sure that the content that we provide to Google and the people searching on Google with the very highest quality content possible. It needs to be really relevant to the type of searches that people are making, and also we need to provide Google with the proof that we are an authority within our industry. Google goes out and crawls every single page on the internet, and it gathers information, and then it chooses which of those pages it's going to show on Google. It doesn't actually index and add all of the pages within its index. Then it's the algorithm's job to make the decision on which pages it considers to be the very best when people make a search, and place them at the very top. And then as the pages in the list goes down, we have the pages that are considered to be less valuable. Now, a lot of people talk about the algorithm changing. It does change, and Google is constantly releasing new Google updates. But you need to remember that SEO, and good SEO in particular, doesn't change. Ultimately, we're trying to provide our searchers, the people on Google and on the internet, with the best possible resource, the best possible solution and content for a particular search that they make. As long as we can do that and we can provide all the other supporting signals to Google and searchers, we're going to do really well on SEO and getting the results that we're after. Now, back in the day, we used to see a lot of SEOs trying to cheat Google and using black hat techniques, but nowadays, thankfully, Google shut a lot of those doors, and the best way of getting long-lasting results is to play by Google's rules. Okay, what makes a website rank? Now, I've already mentioned that we do have 250 plus ranking factors, but actually it's three main factors that are going to make all the difference to our success during this journey. They are relevancy, integrity, and popularity. Now, I'm going to take you through each one of those next. Okay, what makes a website rank? Number one, relevancy. Relevancy is all about content. Like I say, this is Google is a content delivery system, so providing Google with the very best content possible for that particular keyword and your list of keywords is essential. Now, it's not just about being specific. We have to have high quality content. There's no point in just producing lots of content on a regular basis if it doesn't answer the questions at the very best way possible for our target audience. The types of content that we produce, there's lots of different types, but the main two would be landing pages and supporting content. Other elements that provide relevancy signals to Google and our users are things such as meta titles, meta descriptions, alt tags. But there's lots of other things to consider as well. This is just the very top few items. The next major ranking factor is integrity. By that we mean the technical side of the website. We need to make sure that your website isn't preventing Google trusting it by having errors on the site. There's lots of different things to consider. Here's a few. The first one is security. The next is website speed. Then we go on to the structure of the website and the URLs that we're using. XML sitemaps is all about giving a list of pages that we have on the website that we consider to be important to be showing on Google. Indexation is choosing which of those pages we want to show on Google and making sure that we're not bloating Google's list that we have within our website, and we're only choosing the ones that really matter to us. Crawlability is about making sure that Google is able to access our website and find all the information that's most important to it. Now we have internal and external links. What these do is they give an indication to Google about the relationship between one page and another, and also the hierarchy of pages. Now, like I say, this is just a top few items that cover integrity. There's many more that we cover. Lastly, the third important ranking factor is popularity. Now, popularity generally happens off-site or away from the website, and generally we're talking about backlinks, but there are also other signals as well. A backlink is when one website links to another, and Google effectively sees backlinks, social signals, brand mentions, and traffic coming to the website all as votes of confidence. Now, they have differing levels of value in Google's eyes, and not all backlinks are or social signals and brand mentions are seen as the same value. So it's really important that we're gaining the right websites linking to us, the right websites mentioning us and talking about it. So the quality and relevancy of the offsite SEO side of things is really important. Okay, a winning SEO strategy. So knowledge is power. It's really important that we have all the information in front of us. So within the early days of a campaign, we spend a lot of time looking at the website, looking at the competition, understanding how people search on the internet for these particular offerings, the types of keywords that they're using, but also what's really important is understanding the intent behind that search, so we can make sure that we're delivering the right type of content to the people who are searching. The next is priorities. Now, there's an incredibly long list of things that we need to do within an SEO campaign. Generally, SEO campaigns last for years. They're not days or months or weeks. So because there's so much to do, it's really important that we have a good understanding of what's required to get us to the goals that we're after. But then for us to prioritize, looking to take advantage of quick wins initially, and then working on the slow burning big wins over time. Next is keyword strategy. Now, this kind of goes without saying. Of course, we need to make sure that we're working with the right keywords, but you'd be very surprised to hear that the amount of campaigns that we take on from previous campaign champions, and we can see that they haven't done the right thing. So when our company gets involved, we make sure that we're working with the right keywords that are going to provide the client with real results. The types of things that we look at are relevancy, search volume, keyword difficulty, and also location, but there's many more factors as well. Okay, so how do we work? Well, it's important to know that what we're doing on day one of a campaign may differ hugely to what we're doing in month 2, month 6, and month 24. It's definitely an evolution over time. We're focusing on what's most important at that particular time, and that could be very different depending on what stage we're at. Now, along the journey working with us, you'll see that we have provided you with an action and roadmap plan and report. You can see that we're listing out and explaining to you during our monthly calls and videos that what we have done, why we have done it, but then also what's planned for the next period. Along with that, we also provide performance reports that allow you to see the results that we're gaining from all of the work that we're doing. Now, this was a very quick presentation of how SEO works. We really have only touched on a few of the key elements. There's so much more involved, but do feel free to ask our team if you want any more information on any particular part of the process. We'll make sure that we're keeping you up to date as we go along, but do feel free to reach out at any point at all.